What's going on, y'all? St. Piper here, aka Black Native. I'm feeling real good today, but I want to know how you doing. Good? All things working for your good? That's good, man. All things working for mine as well. Thanks for asking. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing why all of these hurricanes seem to be directed directly at New Orleans when they're doing basically the trajectory of the hurricanes. I also want to talk about an entanglement and what Jada Pinkett was actually doing with August Alsina and his energy and the energy of New Orleans. Let's get into it. I'm just leaving my last session. If you don't know, I'm a fitness trainer. I'm just leaving my last session. It was a night session, and as I came out, I noticed that it was raining. This rain is from the Hurricane Delta in the Gulf. If you're watching this in the future, this is October 2020, okay? October 2020, I think today is maybe the 7th or the 8th, all right? I get my days mixed up sometimes. Turn my windshield wipers on. But I came out into the rain, and this been on my mind lately about why these hurricanes are constantly not just coming towards the New Orleans area, because that's regular, that's normal, right? But why? I've never seen it like this. Every hurricane that have formed this like I think 90% or even 95% of the hurricanes that were formed were projected to come directly at New Orleans, right to the Mississippi. And okay, you might call me a little bit paranoid, but I gotta trust my intuition over anything else right now. And when I meditate on these things, and when I go to Yahawah about certain instances like this, no matter how trivial it may seem, I always get the truth because I ask for the truth. And the truth of the matter is, this is being purposely done. The hurricanes are not only being generated by human beings or mankind, one of the two. If you don't know the difference, I'll show a video on the difference. If you want to know the difference between mankind and a human, if you want to know the difference between man and human, comment that you want to know the difference in the down in the comment section. But this is not only being generated, these hurricanes are not only being created purposely and directed to New Orleans on purpose, but they're being done maliciously with a real reason behind it. It's all about energy. Everything is energy, and everything is about energy. All right. Now, people want to come up with names about these different weather controllers and different organizations that seek to control the weather and use the weather to make certain events happen so they can influence people on a mass scale. I'm not interested in a name. I will not give power to these people. I do not care for these individuals in this instance, even though I know the benefit of having them and I know the reason that they exist. But they will not have their name basically spoken in this video. Okay, so these storms are being generated purposely to come towards New Orleans every time. Why? That's the question. Okay, if that is true, Black Native, why would somebody go out of their way or make millions and millions, billions of dollars, resources put together? Why would they do that for measly old New Orleans? Energy. New Orleans is a sacred land. New Orleans is a very sacred land. That whole area, the New Orleans metropolitan area, is very sacred. The energy is high. It is a very creative environment. New Orleans is at the mouth of the Mississippi River. The Mississippi River is basically like the birth canal of the United States. The United States would not be the United States without the Mississippi River, and therefore it would be nothing without New Orleans, because New Orleans is a river city, it's a port city. New Orleans is very important when it comes to the United States, but not just for economics and not just for the surface level basic utilities, you know, of trading, exporting and importing. Not just for that, but for the energy. New Orleans has amazing energy. It has very creative energy, because if the Mississippi River is basically the birth canal, New Orleans is it's basically being birthed. Right? It's right at the center of this, it's right at the, let me say, summit of this energy. It's a very creative energy. If the United States is a woman and the Mississippi River is the birth canal, then New Orleans is basically the vagina, the very creative energy of the United States. New Orleans is very creative, and the people there are as well. Okay? When you look at pop culture, you can find that New Orleans has his hands all over pop culture. New Orleans is very small. You have cities like New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta, where there's millions of people. The whole state of Louisiana has about 5 million people in it. New York City and Los Angeles, the cities on their own have more than our state have altogether. So it's not about the number of people. It's about the concentration and the type of energy. It's a creative energy, because it's at the creative spot of the United States. The energy is beyond people. I'm just trying to stress that energy to y'all, right? The energy is very important, and that's what these beings and these different organizations, entities, that's what they want. That's what they want. Okay? But why would they have to take us out to get that energy? Even though energy seems infinite, and energy is infinite, energy goes off of percentages. For instance, we all come from one source. That means we all come from one whole of energy. Which means if there's a whole of something, then, and it's divided into different beings and trees, and everything that we see is made out of that energy, then the energy can be possessed and hoarded. I can have more energy than you, right? I can have a higher percentage of this whole energy than you. But if you have it, then I have to get it from you. You could give it willingly, or I can take it from you. I can con you out of it, I could persuade you out of that, or I can steal it from you. It's very hard to steal the energy from people who are unwilling to give it to you, obviously, because you're stealing it. So you have to persuade them and get their permission in ways that are not direct. You can get permission in many ways. When people evacuate, they are allowing others to have access to that energy, because they are willingly leaving that energy behind. The energy is very important. Energy is so important that when you look up your birth chart, you put in the place where you were born. You put in the place where you were born, because the energy and the concentration and the different degree of those energies and the way they mix is pertinent to who you are and how you function. So think about that. Energy is that important. When you're born in New Orleans or any other place, you're coded with that energy on you. That energy is on you. That energy is in you. You are, to some extent, New Orleans. You are, to some extent, wherever you're from. That's why when you look up your natal chart to find out your zodiac signs and your astrology, you put in the time and the place where you are born, along with your name and other important details. So now that I proved to y'all that energy is important and that New Orleans energy is very creative, if you look at the United States, you see that the Mississippi River is the birth canal. New Orleans is at the mouth of the birth canal, the vagina. It gives birth to the Caribbean. It gives birth to the islands. Those are the children. If you look at it, the United States is the motherland. The river is the birth canal, the Mississippi, right? And you can see all the tributaries going from that. Then you have New Orleans at the most creative point of that process, and the creations are the many islands in the Gulf and that extend into the Caribbean. So the energy is very creative. New Orleans has been appropriated very much since the 90s, and even before that, going into jazz and blues. We've gone all the way back to Louis Armstrong, right? Like, the New Orleans is very small, and it has a lot of influence on the entire world, like pop culture. When you listen to Meg Thee Stallion, when you listen to City Girls, when you listen to Drake, when you listen to Chance the Rapper, they take from New Orleans because it's very important. They use the sound and everything. The word twerking, even twerk culture, that's very important to New Orleans because we have a very creative energy. That's not, got me? They want us to leave from our home so they can have access to our energy. They don't give a damn. People want to talk about the businesses and, oh, they just want to have our land, but why? Why our land? It's swamps. It's not even good to build on. Think. It's not about the land. They don't care about the land to build stuff. They want the energy. Voodoo, magic rolls off of energy. How many iconic places can you name in the world, United States, that are known for voodoo and energy? Voodoo and magic. New Orleans, that comes to your mind. You need great energy, a great place for energy. Reception, it's like reception. When you're working with that, it's only natural that certain places are gonna have more magic and certain places are gonna have more energy flow because of where it is. Reception, the same thing. There's a large concentration of energy here in New Orleans, and it's useful. Now, magic works through attachment. It could be emotional, mental, legal, or physical attachment. We are physically attached to New Orleans, so we have a lot of access to the creative energies here. If you don't live here, then you need another way to attach yourself to New Orleans for these creative energies. You can do that legally through contracts, binding people who are born in New Orleans to you. You can kill somebody, because when you kill people, their energy is forever on you because you take their energy. Or you can make somebody fall in love with you and you can fall in love with them. That's the emotional connection. Sex. Everybody knows about soul ties at this point. When you have sex with somebody, you have a spiritual connection to them. Now, when it's about entanglement, Jada, Pinkett, and Alsina, I don't believe she cared about Alsina at all. He was manipulated in different ways, and he thought it was real because she did not present herself to be what she really was. All she was really doing was appropriating his energy and looking for a way into New Orleans. She wasn't born here, so she didn't have it. She could have financial ways, financial connections. She could build homes here and stuff like that, but the energy still would not be strong enough. She needed a strong enough conduit, medium. Okay, she needed something that was strong enough and a great source of that energy to get into New Orleans and New Orleans' energy. Okay, having sex with and building a strong emotional connection with Alsina is very important when it comes to that. Okay, she wanted access to this very creative energy that we have down here in New Orleans. Our energy is not just straight up and down. New Orleans is a swamp. That represents flow and mixture. It's hard to tell the difference between land and water. That represents, it's hard to tell the difference between land, which is earth in the physical realm, and water, which is the spiritual realm and emotional realm. New Orleans is very, very mixed when it comes to spirituality and what's real, what's actually physically in front of you. And scratch me on that word real, because real is not what we think it is. Real is actually more closely related to what we don't see. However, man, come on, y'all. It's not about August Alsina. She wants what the people, what everybody wants, the energy and access to that energy freely. The access to the energy freely. The energy has to be easily and readily available. Okay? It's not about August. It's not about love. It's not about stepping out and being free as a woman. It's about being free as a person, and freedom is power. So having the power to do what you want is freedom. And having power means you have access to massive, useful energy. And what better place than a place where reality in a physical sense and reality in a spiritual sense is damn near impossible to tell a difference between. Again, I'm gonna make that connection for y'all. The earth is the physical realm. The water is the emotional, spiritual realm. Okay? The air is the mental realm. You got me? Here we have the water and the earth represented by the swamps. You don't know where they begin or where they end in the swamps. They become like one, which means it's an easier place for us to go between the realms. When you walk down Bourbon Street, you're going to see people reading poems. You're going to see tarot reading. You're going to see voodoo. You're going to see Christianity mixed with voodoo and hoodoo. And there's going to be a lot of things that seem to be almost like you can't even tell a difference. Like, where does one part end? Like, I thought these things were supposed to be separate. Like, Christianity and voodoo don't go together. But wrong. We live like that down here to a certain extent, right? So it's not about the land, and it's not about August Alsina. It's not about these storms. These storms are being directed to us. Look, it's raining right now. These storms are being directed to New Orleans to get us to leave, to have the access to our energy. And we as New Orleans natives and whoever you are, we have to protect ourselves. They have storms that's seemingly going out of their way to get to the New Orleans area. Storms that start way in Florida, storms that start that's making drastic turns to come to us. It don't even seem natural. 2 storms, we all the way in October. We are out of hurricane season. Okay, yeah, the temperature's higher, but still, like, it's just seeming unreal. It's just seeming unreal. Now, you can make that judgment for yourself, but I'm just explaining this, and I'm not wasting my time because I know somebody watching this video has learned something very important. Share this video with somebody. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't care about views and all of that. This is my calling, to teach people and to open eyes. This is what brings me fulfillment. So I'm gonna play my role. But look, man, New Orleans has a great energy and they're attacking us. It's okay, we all right, but you need to know why. Because once you know why, you can manipulate the whys for yourself. You can protect yourself. You can go further than they want you to go. And you can be a master manipulator, or a master manifester, a master protector. Okay? Again, man, it's not about August Alsina. Okay? It's also not at all about finances and let's get some land set up, let's steal these people homes when they evacuate. It's not about that. It's not about that. Okay? It's not about that at all. Again, you could make these connections for magic in all kinds of ways. People have certain abilities, okay? And once you have sex with that person, you could have some of their abilities. You could begin to generate those abilities. Once you sign a contract with somebody, y'all are in union in some kind of a way. And if you're in union, that means you are one. You're a team. You're a part of one big body entity, which means you have access to one another's energy. All right? That's all I'm trying to say. It's not about August, Alsina, and love. It's definitely not about trying to get some money from the New Orleans people. It's not about that. There's certain organizations and there's certain celebrities who seek to just have the energy because they don't operate on money anyway. They operate on magic and mysticism, and they operate on spiritual workings and spells and all kind of other things, y'all. It's bigger than you and me. It's energy. Why August Alsina? Why not just a regular person? Because she doubled up on her energy. She also got a lot more energy once everybody looked into it. Nobody would have gave a damn if she cheated with some Joe Blow or had an entanglement. That's what entanglement comes from, because she will be entangled with the New Orleans energy. And shout out to my brother Devontae. Devontae basically opened my eyes to this, about how the entanglement is. Devontae, man, big ups to you. Not a lot of people teach me things. Not a lot of people, you know, basically spark stuff in me. But you definitely did with this, and I'll remember it forever because it's very important. But this was what I'm gonna add to it. I added the hurricane part to it I added that hurricane part to it. I added someone, to my opinion, to the Jada Pinkett and August Alsina situation. And also I added the swamp part to it. But Devontae really opened my eyes because it was like the bridge between all realms. It's not about business. It's not about love. It's not about the land. It's about the energy. And once it went public and it got famous, it got super famous because it was with another celebrity, August Alsina. That's another celebrity. She could double up on her energy because she could take his energy, get involved in New Orleans, but then she gonna take the energy of everybody that's watching her videos and talking about her. Even me right now, she's still getting some of my energy because I'm speaking her name and I'm visually and I'm thinking about her. You know, so, and Will Smith too, he got some of the energy too, because he's married to her, like, so they're a union. That's a union. She had sex with August, so Will Smith and Jada Pinkett have access to New Orleans' energy now. They can be more creative, and he got a YouTube channel, so that could really work for him. They could do more spells. They could last a little longer in this game. August also has, you know, he has access to different energies. So he came up too, because he got some energy from everybody too. They just hit a lick. They just hit a lick on energy off of us. How you feel about that? They just hit a three-way lick on energy off of us real quick. Man, I love y'all. St. Piper here, aka Black Native. Y'all know what it is. Share this video with somebody. If you from New Orleans, share this video with somebody. If you know that energy is very important, share this video with somebody. You know what I'm saying? If you just want to show your love to me, hit the like button. Please leave comments. This is a hot topic. I know I'm a little late on it, but I don't go by timing. I'm not with trends. It's just when I learn something, I learn it and I apply it first, and then I make a video. I don't just learn something and think about it and then make a video. I apply it to my life first to see how true it is, because I'm all about the truth. I'm not going to try to speak this to y'all if it's not the truth. And then I apply it. I love y'all. Share, like, comments. If you want to become a part of this, community for real and become a black native, a person who is actively working towards becoming a complete being, then all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Love y'all, black natives.